Here we are. Do something.
You're starting the episode today.
That's not happening. No.
Someday.
We'll see about that.
All right. Well, I need to start today's episode by acknowledging something that I've been thinking about. It's been mentioned a couple of times in some communications from listeners. We know there's people out there listening who are older than us. I won't name names, but people 65, 70, 75 years old, maybe even 80, who knows? I don't know everybody who's listening. And I'm sure that when you listen to us kind of carry on about how tough it is in our 50s, it probably has you thinking, oh, they've got no idea.
Just wait.
Yeah, you got no idea what's coming. Just wait. Which is fair. We don't want anyone to think that we have all the answers or will ever have the answers. And when we ask questions in these episodes, we're not really expecting answers. We're not really trying to get answers. We're just kind of proposing questions and then, analyzing, I guess, the past impact on where we are and where we're headed. And we're kind of just reporting as honestly as we can from the position that we're at. It's really all we can do. But that being said, if you are a listener in your 60s or 70s, or wherever you may be ahead of us on that path, first of all, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you putting up with our complaining, because I'm sure there's complaining that you could do of your own. But you've already walked in a lot of the places we're going, and we would love to hear about it. What surprised you? What got easier? What got harder? What did you spend years worrying about that kind of never came to fruition? It's like when you're a kid and you learn to stop, drop, and roll. There's that community who said, I thought being on fire was going to be a much bigger problem than it ended up being. What did you learn? Your fears, conquered or otherwise, fears that you might still have, fears that you overcame. Maybe a little bit of history of your history. Because I think it would be interesting. I shouldn't speak for you. I think it would be interesting to hear how some of these people got to where they are today, and to kind of hear that other end. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were going really well.
This is crazy. In any case, this podcast isn't really about being in your 50s. It just happens to be where we are. Those are just the stories that we can tell based on our current experience. And we're not saying that your 50s are the hardest to be in. They're certainly not. Every decade has its challenges. I mean, certainly our 30s and 40s also have their share of challenges. But this podcast is kind of about learning what got us to this point, maybe reminiscing and telling some stories about how we got here, and then moving forward from this point and learning how to move forward. And it's evolving as we go. I mean, it may turn into something completely different as we go forward. So if you're an older person, hop on our socials, share a story or two. If you're not comfortable doing that, send it to us privately. We'll share it for you if you want us to, anonymously. We won't name you. But I'd also love to add a segment from time to time where we tell stories about what we have to look forward to, good or bad, I guess. Just kind of see where we're headed and where other people have been, because your stories deserve to be told too. This is Forward Project. All right, here we are, another episode 6. This is great. First milestone is 10, but 6 is pretty darn good, especially for someone who didn't want to do this at all. Yeah. So let's do our daily tink, or our show tink. Hold on, let's get my bling in there.
Oh, I could have my cup.
Yeah, you could, but you didn't.
Even though I'm drinking water.
Yeah, water. You're lame. I'm drinking tea.
What are you drinking? Why?
Yeah, I'm drinking tea because I'm a little bit under the weather. You may hear it in my voice. I'm not feeling that great, but here I am for you, honey.
Yeah.
And for you, the listeners. I've made this sacrifice for the people.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking my tea. Hopefully it'll make me feel a little bit better. But don't do that. I'm actually off from work for the next 2 days, which is horrible because I could use this to call out sick. And now I can't, because I'll probably be fine by the time I get back to work, which sucks. But, nothing better than being sick when you have 5 days in a row off. We'll talk more about this mug at the end, by the way.
Okay.
Because now everybody's going to want one. So it seems, I really, you know what else I realized? I realized my ums are getting better. I still do a lot of them, not near as many as the first episode.
Yep. But
I do this thing whenever I start a new thought where I go, so, and I think that goes back to when I was writing that column for the newsletter. It was called, So Here's the Deal. And I start everything with, so here's the deal. And I think it may go back to, or maybe that comes from my predisposition to say the word so all the time. In any case, I've been listening to the episodes, doing some research on what we can do better or differently. And it seems a bit ironic, I think, that we are called the Forward Project when so much of the time
we're talking about
that we spend, we're looking back on reflecting on where we are. I touched a little on this in the opening. I think that's okay. I think it's okay and important to do that. And I think, well, I know for me, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I know for me, it's been even a little bit therapeutic to kind of go and revisit those things that maybe I'm not comfortable really remembering all the time, but kind of realizing that I need to remember some of these things.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, good. Awesome.
Agreed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. From now on, I will speak for you.
There you go. And I'll just sit back and listen.
Great. That'd be a great show. It's kind of half of what's going on now. So in any case, at least that format probably won't change. All we can tell are our stories. But at least for today's episode, we become the full-on Forward Project. I'm sure there'll end up being a little bit of history and reminiscing, but as of, or at least for today's episode, it's really ultimately all about what's ahead. And I will let you tell them what I'm talking about.
We're grandparents. Woohoo!
Well, not yet.
Yes, we are.
You jumped the gun a little bit.
No.
We're grandparents to a thimble or a bottle cap now, I think is the
Bottle
size
cap.
of the baby.
Yes.
So yeah, our oldest boy and his wife are expecting, and we couldn't be happier.
Very excited.
Very
happy for them.
I'll let you tell the story of how we found out, of how they told us.
Well, I'll start with how the day started, because I got up, I got dressed, and I had a dress on because it was hot out, and I was trying to wear like as little clothes as possible while still being decent. And I come out, and I had some heels on because again they were like sandal heels, just trying to wear light clothes. And Linnea's like, "Where are you going?" And it was early, and I said, "I'm not going anywhere." She's like, "Then why you dressed like that?" And I said, "Because I just wanted to get dressed. It's really hot, and I'm wearing clothes that, Minnie." And then, sorry about that. That's our wonderful Minnie grandpup. Anyway, so then I said, I don't need the sandals on, and I went and I put sneakers on because those are more comfortable. And then she's like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "Why do you want to know where I'm going? Like, what is a big deal?" She goes, "Because I don't want to be left out." So that was a very Linnea thing to say. And I'm like, whatever. I said, "I'm just waiting for Dad to go do some errands." So little did I know, she's communicating with her brother on the side saying, "When are you getting here? Because they're getting ready to leave and I'm trying to keep them here." They're going to Abby's parents' house, which is 6 houses or so down the street. So if we did leave, she could have called him and said, "Come up when we get back." Whatever. That's them trying to plan something. So then they end up showing up and they said, "Yeah, we just came down to go for a swim." So we're talking to them, saying our hellos and everything. And then Christian hands you a package, and it's just an ordinary wrapped brown paper. And he's like, "You're like, what's this for?" And he's like, "I don't know. Abby wrapped it. I don't know what, he's wanted something to give."
And Abby will do that sometimes. She'll just like get me something great because she knows I like random shit. So if there's somewhere and they find some random thing that I like, they'll grab it.
And you don't have it right where you're at or anything, right? Okay. Because I was
No.
gonna I was gonna show it. But anyway, so you
We can
proceed.
pause. I can get it.
Okay, and we're back.
And we're back. So go ahead. Should I show it or you want to?
Not yet. So they give you this package to open, plain wrap. Christian says, Abby just wrapped it, something we saw you wanted to get for you or whatever. So you unwrap it. And what do you get?
Excited? No.
Excited. So it's a very hungry caterpillar. So I look at it and I say, huh, that must be because it's relating to the podcast and they're trying to like give us something that's from our childhood and we could talk about it in our podcast or something. And that's what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. You can give your thoughts.
I knew.
You knew right
I
away
knew.
as soon as you opened it. So
Even
I was
Linnea said, Linnea looks at me. She goes, I knew. She goes, you knew. She goes, I saw the moment that you knew.
yep. And then Christian just turns and says to you, well, the baby's going to need something to read.
Yep.
And that's when I went very happily. And tears pretty much instantly came to your face.
No, not
And
mine. I don't cry.
no, not
I'm a
yours.
man.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
And I think your comment was, "This is why we had kids."
Yeah,
And
that
he
was.
goes, that was your first comment. This is
the
why
o-
we had kids.
The only
And
reason I
now-
ever had kids is so that someday we could have grandkids.
and then proceeded to say, I think you said that now we're the older generation.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, it's so funny because we had just recorded or released the episode. When did we get old? When did we become the old people?
Yeah.
And I looked at you and I said, right now, this is the moment that we just became the old people.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So we did our hugs and happiness and showed us pictures of the bottle cap and the shrimp looking thing, with little fingers, very photogenic already. So we're very excited.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the feelings that happen because your first feeling is just overwhelming joy, like you're happy for them. You see the look on their faces, like they couldn't wait to tell you, and they're excited. But more importantly, you're happy for yourself, like we did anything. But we're like, hey, nice job.
I didn't go there.
Now you were happy for yourself.
I was happy that we're gonna have little babies running around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, now all you're thinking about is all the things that you can do.
Right.
But it's like at the same time, then all of a sudden, like it hits, and this while you're thinking how wonderful and great this is, there's a part of me that is like, hold up, what? Wait, what just happened? Like this is our kid.
Our kid's having a kid, and for
he's
me,
having a kid.
And it brought me right back to when I was pregnant with him, and like just how our story started having children, and just to reflect back real quick. I went to school, college. You always wanted to have kids before I even started school, and you're like, let's have children right away. And I said, let me get through school. Let's get married, then we can get married and do that whole thing. And you wanted them all right away. You wanted your own family, which you were just missing that feeling for a little bit. So anyway, so I go to school. I graduate in May. We get married that August. And then I'm pregnant by that April. And, before I was pregnant, as soon as I graduated college, my mother was like, don't go getting pregnant right away. And I said, Ma, I'm going to get a career. And, yeah, it wasn't an oops. We just said, hey, let's let it happen when it happens.
Let's do it.
It happened. And now our firstborn is having his own firstborn.
Yep.
So it's pretty exciting.
It's crazy. The last time God let somebody so inept father a child was when we had Christian. I kid.
That's not true.
I kid. He's going to be a great dad. He's wanted this for so long.
Yeah,
I couldn't be happier for him. I think. Yeah, he wanted 10 kids.
And then reality and growing up hit, and he's like, yeah, not 10.
Yeah, no.
Although I think it'd still be okay.
Yeah, he could handle it. Yeah, I'm so excited for him. I think there's very few people in the world who are more cut out to be a father than he is. He's going to do a great job. grandparents. So,
Now we're
excuse me.
grandparents.
What does that mean for us? I feel like it means that you have to start carrying butterscotch treats in your pocketbook now,
Well, I do
or
have the
just
rocket.
in your pocket, not even in your
Yeah,
pocketbook, just in your pocket.
that's right. That's right. And I do have my rocking chair already, so
Yeah,
that's in place. And
yeah,
butterscotch candies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Werther's Originals.
Eh,
I love those. So what changes for us?
Um, um, that's a question for me. What changes for us? Now we get to have little ones around and not worrying about disciplining them and having fun
Right.
with them.
Quite the opposite. We gotta
Yeah,
send them home to be disciplined. We gotta make
that's
them
right.
do stuff so they get in trouble later, and then we
Yeah.
can come to their defense so they love us most.
Uh, I don't know what changes for us.
They get to spoil a kid again.
We get to spoil a kid again. We get to be called a name. One of the first things Christian said is now you got to come up with a name. And when did that happen? When did it go from that's Grammy Halloway and that's Grampy whatever to Grammy, Grampy, Grandpa, Grandma, and now we got to come up with names. I always thought it was Grammy, Grandpa, and then what if the kid can't say it? That's what they come up with.
No,
Christian's like no, like Christian when he was a kid is his name's Christian, but we used to call him Keegan because he couldn't say Christian, so he was a Keegan, and that's a name that stuck with him for a really long time. And often that happens with um, grandparents, I thought,
yeah,
but
but if
not
it doesn't,
nowadays.
it's also a way to tell them apart. Like if you got two sets of grandparents, and they're both grandpa and grandma. I mean, then they end up being grandpa. Then use their first names after it. I don't want to out anybody else. The other group, but and I think people also have things that they want to be called. Maybe they had a special person in their life that they had a
Yeah,
name for, and they kind of want to carry that tradition down. And I know that I somehow ended up with Pop Pops
well, that began
because
from Linnea.
Linnea
Yeah,
started calling me that with her when she got her dog.
right.
Hey, you want to go see
We were
Pop
the
Ups? And she did it because she thought I'd hate it. And the joke's on her. I love it.
yeah,
So,
and somehow I got stuck with. You all right?
yeah, I'm great.
Maybe you need some whiskey down there instead of some tea.
It's for medicinal purposes.
Yes, yes. Um, my name became Nunu, and you're gonna be like, "What?" Even Christian was like, "We're really going with Nunu?" And at first, I'm like, I couldn't even remember where it came from, and it came from when Linnea and the Wiggles, and they used to sing apples and bananas, and one of the part was the oot oot oot
Yeah,
part.
ooples and
Oopals
bananas.
and Banunus. And she's like, that's you. You're going to be Nunu. And I said, all right, I'll go with that. So if that is what happens, that's what happens. Rather than Grammy or whatever. One of the names I saw that was out there was Glamma or Grandpa Dude. Like, what? I don't know.
Grandpa Dude's not bad. That's
But
very
Glamma,
that's very Jeff Bridges.
yeah. I could be Glamma because I'm all about the bling, but that's just not me either. So I
Well, I
just
think we
think
all.
people
Good. I'm sorry.
I just think people are afraid to be called grandma and grandpa because that means they're old, like you said, with the butterscotch candy
Yeah.
and the rocking chair and the walking down the aisle in the grocery store, farting away
I,
and
I didn't have a problem with any of what you said until the farting away part. Like they leave that they just start crop dusting the aisle.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Gotta add some humor.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I hadn't thought of it that way. That's certainly not my personal take on it. That I mean, I'm not afraid to be called grandpa, or I just Linnea kind of dubbed me that, and it stuck, and I like it, and it's kind of cool. I think we all know what's going to happen by the time it gets to the kid, though. Kid's not going to be able to say pop pops. I'm going to be in poop poops.
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I just
And
thought
you'll
that's where
be
it came
doo doo.
from.
It'll be poop poops and doo doo.
Yeah. So,
And don't think that it's not because they told them to say poop poops and doo doo.
oh, I'm sure. And then it'll be a Netflix name and all that kind of stuff that goes on in our family. So,
So, so your opinion on something,
okay.
and I want you to think. I don't want you to answer just outright. I want you to kind of
All right, then you got to fill the dead space.
psycho hand. There's a joke in there somewhere. When your grandparents spoil the kids rotten, let them get away with things you never let your own kids get away with. You buy the noisy toys. You pack them full of sugar right before you send them home. Uh, you let them stay up all night. You let them watch things they're not supposed to watch. Within reason, obviously, you don't do anything irresponsible. Let's not get crazy, but within reason. So basically, by the time you're done with those kids, your kids look at you and be like, "Where the F were you when I was growing up? Why weren't you
Right.
fun when I was there?" And so here's my question. Is that tradition to do that, or is that revenge? Because when the kids are younger and you say, someday, I hope your kids do the exact same thing to you. Are we as grandparents setting them up to do just that?
Um, oh, I can think of that. I don't think it's either. I don't think they think of that. I did not have grandparents, so I can't relate to what,
How'd you get here?
well, obviously I had them, but I never knew grandfathers, so I was always jealous of people who had grandfathers because I didn't have them. Um, and my grandmothers I had, but we never really saw them, so I didn't really know them. They were Grammy and whatever, but didn't have that relationship. Um, so I can't relate to that, but I think you did your job as a parent to teach, and then your job as a grandparent is to also teach, but do the fun stuff. Let the parents worry about all the, teachable. Well, you still teach as a grandparent, but you do it in a fun way. I don't think about it
Yeah,
revenge. I don't think about it as tradition because it doesn't come from tradition from me. I mean, you had Graham. Graham was friggin' awesome.
yeah, but
Um,
again, I question if a lot of the things she let us do were, were revenge, or or just being nice, and you know,
I think you're more, and you want your grandkids to like you. Not that you don't want your kids to like you, but you don't want to be your kid's friend. You want to be your kid's parent.
hmm.
So when you're a grandparent, I don't think you're thinking like that. You're just like, you just want to have fun and just, I don't know, it's just a different,
You do have to discipline when you're the grandparent. I mean, obviously, you
right,
can't let them go put their hand on the stove, or go kick a dog or something. But
right,
you don't have to be the disciplinarian.
right.
That's not your role, and I don't think they see you in that role, which is good. I think you have a more laid back approach, and even though you're the one that's telling them, hey, don't do that, or you shouldn't do that, that's not your number one position. Wherein as a parent, it really is. I mean, your job as a parent is to teach your child and to raise your child,
Right.
and
And
obviously you have
unless
those
you,
moments.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, unless you're that grandparent that's helping with the daycare of the kid and stuff, and then you kind of get in that role. And I
You
think
do. Yeah, you.
you might lose a little bit of that being able to be fun because you have to watch that line of
Mhm,
teaching versus fun.
mhm. So this is the part where I talked about we have to look back a little bit and reminisce to some degree. Uh, what would you do differently if you had to parent all over again? And I'm not talking about in one situation, or where maybe you got overly mad at this, or maybe you didn't get mad enough at this, or you let this go. What is one thing that you would do differently in raising your kids? And maybe it's nothing. Maybe I mean, our kids turned out great. I mean, and I'm
Well,
not
that's
talking
a
about
hard.
regrets. I'm just talking about what is one thing maybe that you've learned as a parent that you're like, maybe I should have backed off on that, or maybe I should have been a little bit tougher on this, or
Oh, they're going to be listening, so that's kind of hard to put out there. I don't know. Maybe. Gosh, maybe. I don't know if patience the right word, or not understanding, but like not be so much about having to teach at every single moment. Maybe put a in and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but not be like everything you're doing is to teaching. Maybe take a
Yeah.
little bit of that grandma attitude, and not to say, I mean, we did. You especially did. So I
Did
think,
what?
oh, you were the fun guy. That's yeah, the
Oh, I did my share of being the disciplinarian also. So I think the main thing that I will promise to do or not to do, as the case may be, is I won't project my opinions on certain things onto them. What I mean by that is, I mean, of course, you're going to hear my opinions on things. That's how life works, and that's
right.
how interactions happen, and that's how people learn, and that's how people question. But I won't, in a lot of ways, very much like we did with our kids. Like we didn't push religion on them. You know, we always told them we're not religious people. We did always tell them if you want to go to church, find a friend and have them bring you to church because we're not going. No, we didn't.
Well,
We said we will take you if you want to know what this is, then we will take you and feel free to explore it and understand it and learn it and kind of formulate your own opinions on it. And I want to continue that with my grandkids. I don't want to oversell or undersell things to them. I want them to kind of form their own opinions on things, or or let their parents kind of
yeah,
dictate
that's
that.
their job, not ours.
Yeah, and I guess this kind of leads into also I will not contradict the parents.
I keep
Like you
thinking.
kind of said before, if they have rules or anything, you're not going to do that. It's
Oh,
the same
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
like
yeah.
with opinions on things. I'm not going to contradict what they've taught their kids, or what they're trying to teach their kids. Even if I don't agree with it, they're not my kids. You're there
Yeah.
to teach your kids, not to indoctrinate them.
Right.
So, which by the way, I think we did very well. Our kids are pretty open minded kids. They're well
Friggin' awesome.
adults.
Like, yeah.
They're kind. They're generous. They're functioning adults. Probably certainly better at their ages than I was at their ages.
Maybe because I don't know, we had kids when we were 22 and 23, and they're all in their
When we
almost
were still kids.
when we were still kids, and they kind of got some life experience before the kids. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I take it back. What I would do differently is I wouldn't have had kids.
But then we wouldn't have this podcast because we wouldn't be having grandbabies.
No, because it would be vacationing in Aruba every other week because all we would have is money and time.
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people without kids, and that's what they do. It's just vacation all the time.
I kid. I love my
Yeah.
kids. My kids are the best.
Yeah,
I thought that, and we joked about it this earlier too, but I thought when I became a grandparent, again, always wanted to be, but I really thought that I would instantly feel older. Like it would make me feel old. And it really doesn't. I hadn't even really thought about that until we were putting together this topic, and I had to kind of think of what I was feeling, or things that I had felt before or thought I was gonna feel when this moment came. And I always thought that when I found out, it would kind of be that a little bit of you know, like when you're having a baby, that clock is ticking, and now there's a different clock, and but I don't. Like I feel almost like that time is more valuable now.
oh yeah, and I didn't think of age at all. My thing was just happiness for them.
Yeah,
Just
well, that's
their
what I'm saying.
that
I didn't in the moment,
it didn't.
like in the years leading up to this, I thought that would be like on my mind. Like when I
Yeah,
found out there kind of be that crushing thing where it's like, okay, now, but
yeah. I'm not thinking age. I'm so happy for them that they're for both of them. I know we're talking about Christian a lot, but that's because he's our kid.
Yeah,
But
of course,
we're
of
happy
course.
for both of for Abby, and we just can't wait to see the journey that you guys are doing and everything. But yeah, it hasn't affected age or anything for me. I don't think of age. Age is a number, and I don't want to think about that because if we start thinking, then we get back to the last episode and being like, they were how old and they looked like they were 100,
Yeah.
So we're not
I
going
wonder
there.
if I wonder if in a way the opposite would be true. Like instead of feeling older, it's going to make me feel younger. Because now I'll be back outside doing those things that I used to do when I was younger with the other kids.
Oh, you're not going to be, oh my, I can't catch up. I can't do that. You're not going to be that
Oh,
guy?
no. I will definitely be that guy. But I'll be out there doing it. I will tell you. So, one thing I will not do.
Wait. Here's something I wanted to do. So hold that thought.
Okay.
Because I kind of did this thing where we should pledge what we are not going to do.
Yes.
And think of 2 to 3 things that we won't do to these poor children of ours and torture them. And we got to stick to it.
Okay. Well, this isn't one of those.
Because everyone always says, but
This isn't for the kid. This is for me. One thing that I will not do is I will not teach my grandkids how to ride a bike. I'm never teaching another child how to ride a bike ever again.
It
Ever.
was just the boys were fine.
It isn't. No.
Yes, they were.
No. Christian was fine
Right?
because he's just like, you know what?
I'm gonna go
I'll
ride
just
a
do
bike.
it myself. And then he did.
Right.
You don't remember Brandon in that parking lot going around that circle? What? Just don't stop pedaling. Why are you stopping pedaling?
No, I just remember.
And then
you and
Linnea was the worst. Oh, Linnea was the worst.
Yeah.
Linnea was the worst because she would just stand there and tell you that she was doing what you're telling her not to. Or she was like, yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm like, you weren't. So
Right.
frustrating.
So, what?
So, oh, geez. I see, this isn't fair. You just blindsided me with this question.
You do that to me all the time.
My
I have
job.
mine. Do you want me to give you mine?
Yeah, give me yours, and then can I just like agree with yours?
No. So, I will. My first one is to.
Wait, so this is both you can pledge to do or not to do.
Yeah. So, like, one of our things is, and Christian always gets on us, is not coming over. It's like, you guys don't come over. In fairness, they live an hour away, but that's a lame excuse. I know. Time is short. We got to make time. But we will make time to go over. But we won't just show up and be like, we're here, when they're like, oh my God, we don't want grandparents here right now. Not going to do that to you or any of our kids. I think, so one, Cooper, you don't get the attention right now. So one will be that we'll be very attentive, but not over attentive. Now you pass it on to me. The second one is not to give advice when it's not asked.
You ruined one of my topics. Damn you.
Because no one needs that. They don't want it. They need to learn. If they said, or I won't say, well, what we did, every kid's different. What we did for Christian versus what we did for Brandon versus Linnea, it's all different. You got to kind of learn it. There's no, and there was a third one. Did I write it down? Oh, the third one is I'm going to spoil and have fun and not be a parent, but respecting their wishes and how they want to raise their children.
Correct.
So if they want to raise their kids and only feed them, I don't know, broccoli, whatever, I don't know. But it's their children. They need to raise their children. We had our turn. Respect them. That. There you go.
Damn. That was good.
So
you took all the good ones.
you can agree. You can do the same.
I agree with everything you said. I actually had the whole advice thought, and I was going to say even though it's hard to do, we got to bite our tongues unless you're asked for advice. You don't want to offer it because, like you said, They're different, and they're going to do
That's going to
things
be
differently.
hard.
And they're going to be, oh yeah, yeah. It
But
is. It is for anybody.
we have
yeah.
to.
Yeah. So I promise to never give your kid a haircut or take your kid to get his haircut without permission.
There you go.
I've
Yeah,
seen that done so many times, and grandparents do it. And
Yeah.
like, oh, I got him a haircut because it's getting in their face. That is so out of bounds for
Correct.
for you as a grandparent
Right.
to make those decisions.
Right. Might take him out for ice cream and then bring him home for dinner. Not going to say I'm not going to do that.
Might. What do you mean might?
But yeah.
And then blame it on the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might. That's great. Let's see. Jeez, I don't know. You really did take all the good ones. I will immediately start a podcast with them.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Like you're going to hold a microphone up to Abby's belly or
Yep.
like what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. The kid's going to phone in via ultrasound.
Okay.
Yep. Oh God. What else? What else? Oh, I will. And again, I don't have to because Abby's a reader. I will make sure to read to him or her. I enjoy reading. I think every kid should enjoy reading, and I think it's important. I will introduce them to cool things like superheroes and comic books at a very young age.
Yeah. Teach them how to do a Rubik's Cube.
I 100%. Already bought him one. Him or her.
Yeah.
A little, it's not in here, otherwise I'd show you, but it's a little baby cube. It turns one way. It's got some buttons on it. It's kind of cool, but yeah. Teach them how to do that. Show them the joy of art of all kinds. Show them classic movies. Watch.
What classic from like the 80s?
Okay,
or
listen to me. Listen to me.
Classic or like, Singing in the Rain.
Real classic movies, not like these fake classic movies they're trying to push
Not like
off, stuff from like when we were kids.
Like Breakfast Club. Not classic like that. More like
I don't know. That
Singing in the Rain.
that might be. Definitely Rocky. All the Rocky movies. That's
Those are
Godfather.
classic?
Yeah, big
Okay.
time. Yeah,
Oh.
Godfather. But yeah, again, even like some of the older stuff that we like to watch. We like to go to the movies and see all that. It's a Wonderful Life, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I promise to get that kid involved in music and cinema and art.
And what if they want nothing to do
and-
with that? You're gonna do
I
it.
don't care. They're gonna do it. I don't think it'll be a problem. If you start doing that stuff when they're younger, it just becomes a part of what they are and what they do. Hey, going to the movies with Pop-Pops. Not till they're older. We don't want to scare anybody. But yeah. This whole thing is just crazy. It's almost not even real. It's one of those things where even when it's there and in your face, like it's going to take time for it to not be surreal.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to build a blanket fort.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Christian will do that with him too. Maybe Christian will come over one time and me, Christian, and the child will build a cool blanket fort.
That'd be cool.
It'd be awesome. Let's buy some cool blankets. Give him the good cartoons, none of this new stuff. Maybe Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls were cool. Maybe some SpongeBob. But, other than that, like those old Bugs Bunnies. So, yeah. So, right when you're thinking, we talk about finances a lot and, we've got to save money. And all that went right out the window now, too, because all I'm thinking is, what can I get this kid?
Yeah. Got to put the credit cards away.
We did that a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's something kind of cool about seeing your kids, and maybe it makes me feel like we did something right, that they want to go do it.
Yeah, I get that.
I know what you're thinking, because I want to do it for the opposite reasons.
Right. So yeah, they want to. Yeah, it's nice that they want to keep it going, and they didn't see it as being so bad that they don't want to do it. That we did something right, so they weren't like, oh my God, it was
I
horrible,
don't
and
ever
so
want
we
to
don't
do
want to.
this.
Right. And I'm glad this has come true for them.
So, pop quiz.
What is it?
uh, grandkids or puppies?
Why can't I both? I do now. Yeah, there's no choice in that.
All
That's
right.
gonna have both. Yeah.
Do we buy him a puppy?
No, and I was gonna say
I
that's
was
one
gonna.
thing
That
you
should be on
don't
our list.
do.
That should be on
Don't
our
show
list of
up at
things
the
you don't do.
house.
Do not
Yeah,
buy them pets, no
yeah.
matter how
Not
much the
even a
kid
hamster.
begs. Nope.
Nothing. Not unless you
No.
get the
Hey, I got.
okay.
It's okay. I bought the cage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't don't.
That's actually a good question to put out there. What are some things that, like, if you guys have kids, what are some things that your parents did to your kids that you were just like, wait, what? You bought him a cat? you, you bought him a tiger? We live in an apartment,
Right.
you know, or the
One of,
haircut, or
I remember one of the things was a cell phone. Remember that? We're gonna get your kid a cell phone, and that was a big. Well, wait. I don't know if I want my kid, to have a cell phone. It's
yeah,
not the same as a cat, but it is. Do you want your kid exposed? So, yeah, always before you buy any kind of major anything, check with the parents.
yeah. We'll check
Yeah.
with you guys before we do anything. Christian, Abby. A lot of people think that getting older is about losing things. Most importantly, losing time. I kind of feel, well, like every once in a while that life reminds you, life has been also known to give you that swift kick in the ass, whether you need it or not. But every once in a while, I think it gives you the little bonus things too. The little rainbows, as Nancy used to say,
Yeah. She still
and
says it.
she still says it. Uh, and I think looking forward to this, and what's great is we're not just looking forward to the arrival of this child. We're looking forward to the arrival of this child and everything that comes after it. And now,
Watching them become parents and
yeah,
grow
yeah,
and watch their kids grow and yeah, the journey.
yeah, it's crazy. No, it's good. I mean, it's been kind of cool to look forward. This is our new path. Our path just forked a little bit, which is nice. God, it's been a rough couple of years, and this is good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys doing this for us. We know you did it for us.
Yeah.
Well, we're not looking back anymore. We're looking forward, which is good. And pretty soon we'll be looking forward through a child's eyes again, which is really super cool, and that'll be fun. And
Yeah.
you never want to say it's a reason to live again, but it's certainly a reason, on top of many others, a reason to be hopeful and kind of to look forward to what comes next. Starting this week, we will be dropping episodes on Mondays instead of Wednesdays. I think we talked about it a little bit last time. I don't know if I even left that in there, but it's better for the workflow, and we're going to try it out, see if it helps us attract a few more listeners. You can still listen to it anytime during the week, just because it's not releasing on the day that you are used to. It'll still be there on that day. So
Right.
it'll just be there earlier. Again, we are available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You could check out clips on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Find our accounts. I try to post links to most of them. Like, listen, follow, comment, engage. We want to hear what you guys are saying. I actually had somebody comment on one of my posts, dude, you are an old man. I was like, okay, well, A, that's hurtful. B, you were probably trying to be hurtful. So F you, but at the same time, It's really not hurtful, pal. That's the whole point of this show.
All right.
is acknowledging that I'm an old man. So, congrats for hitting the obvious. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No,
All right.
you said it all.
Oh, wow. Did I say it all?
No, but
All right.
what you should say.
What I should say? This is the Forward Project. Thanks, guys.